right, so we just wrapped up 1,500 miles on these two Indian motorcycles, a 2023 Challenger and a 2023 Scout Rogue. This is the limited version of the Challenger. I'm just gonna give you some quick thoughts on the bike and my experience in the last 1,500 miles. First of all, this is only the second time I've ridden a Challenger. I rode the Pursuit, which is basically a Challenger with a top box last year. I was pretty excited to get to ride the new liquid-cooled V-twin. This thing has performance that's much beyond what I anticipated for a full-size cruiser, bagger, if you will. It makes a ton of horsepower. The suspension is phenomenal, especially in the twisties. It is a little tough to ride at slow speeds in technical stuff. I'm not sure what I can attribute that to, but definitely noticed that compared to the Chieftain. Chieftain's a little easier to ride when you're just trying to maneuver around a parking lot, that sort of thing. But when you're hauling butt, this thing is incredible. The brakes, it's got Brembo brakes up front. It's got a ton of suspension travel for considering how big this thing is. The Limited comes with a lot of chrome accents compared to the Dark Horse, which is all blacked out. It has this TFT display with a GPS system built in, the audio system. It's got a reasonable sized stereo. I would say one of my complaints is that the GPS system is a little clunky. I don't know if it's just this particular unit or in general, but it certainly helps you find a gas station or a dealership. But getting around town here in Chicago, it was struggling to kind of keep track of where we were. It was a bit of a pain in the butt. Other than that, the TFT is amazing. It operates with or without gloves on. You can hook up your phone through Bluetooth really easily, listen to music, make your way down the road. The storage capacity is awesome. She had literally no storage capacity on her bike, and so we utilized one pannier for a bunch of her stuff, one pannier for a bunch of my camera gear, and then I strapped a duffel bag to the tail. Came with these little like leather cover bar things. I don't know. They were actually quite nice when it started raining on us. It kept a lot of the weather off of me. That was pretty cool. The windscreen is adjustable. It goes up and down with a little thumb knob. That don't knock it till you've tried it. But yeah, I mean it's got about 200 miles on a full tank. The bike is a ton of fun to ride. Makes a bunch of horsepower. The liquid-cooled motor is phenomenal. I mean, until you ride one, you really won't understand just how much power this thing makes. It's got the cylinder deactivation technology, so when it's hot and you come to a stoplight in the city, it'll kill the rear cylinder, so you're not just pumping heat up under your butt. That's pretty cool. Those are just my thoughts on the Challenger after 1,500 miles. What did you think of riding a Scout Rogue for 1,500 miles?
Well, I mean, as someone who has ridden pretty much every version of the Scout since it came out, I've ridden the 60, I've ridden the classic one, I've ridden the Bobber, and now I've ridden the Rogue. And I feel like the Rogue holds its own. I've done over maybe close to 30,000 miles on multiple types of Scouts.
Yep.
And really, I mean, aside from the positioning of the ape hangers, which for me, it's just because my arms are short. But if I turn them back a little bit, or if it was someone of average to above average size, it would be pretty comfortable. Let's talk about, since I'm on the train of comfort, the windscreen did just enough to keep stuff, the wind off my chest. I could, I'd say if you were a little taller, maybe it would hit you in the head. But again, if your position's more back, you're not going to notice it. The ape hangers, they give a more aggressive look. People are more into this style, and I think it looks really good on the Scout. And so, again, for me, I'd probably pull it back, but otherwise, really comfortable, totally fine. I would probably change the mirrors. That's just me. I like a lot of vision behind me, and these I just found it was a little bit difficult because my arms would be in the way. But the reality is, again, it could be a personal thing. It could be my size. The seat, I loved it. I mean, I don't know how, but it was like, it's plush. When you're going fast, this particular sports style keeps you from sliding back. And, even on my old Scout that I've done 24,000 miles on, it was an upgraded seat, and I still felt like I would have to shift a lot. It would get hot, I'd get uncomfortable. But this, like, just to air out, I'd move, but otherwise I wouldn't change anything.
So what's something that you love and what's something that you loathe?
Well, a couple things and a couple things. One is, with all the Scouts, I hate to say it, I always would change out the rear suspension. They're fine, they'll get you through it, but the reality is, just like an easy upgrade to the rear aftermarket shocks would be, they're tits. Oh, sorry, they're great. And we knew this because we did that on our own Scouts, and it really made a difference. And the difference, key differences here between the Rogue and, let's say, the Classic Scout, it's still a 1200, but it's mapped a little differently. It's more aggressive. I feel like I can really get up and go. It's more responsive on the low end. And so when you guys take off on the highway, I can actually kind of keep up for a bit. And the wheel, it's a little bit bigger. I would say styling, it's dependent on what you like. I like the size of the wheel itself, not my personal preference in design, but otherwise it turns on a dime. And I mean, it feels like I'm on a sport bike sometimes. I can really make it do whatever I want.
I really like the LED turn signals they added.
Yeah, they
Those
look
are
good.
like chasing you. I can actually see you.
Yeah, that's
put your
a
lights
real
on,
upgrade.
put your signals on. On the older Scouts, they were pretty hard to see. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, there's like little technical upgrades that just make a difference. Similar to you, I would say that going in a straight line, it's a little bit harder with this wheel, but it's nominal. And it's never gonna make so much of a difference that it's that hard on you. And then same with, like, they just cleaned up the rear tail. They chopped the rear fender.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks like
cool looking motorcycle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone who passes by us, if they're not already like a big bagger type of person, they're eyeballing my bike, and so it's.
You also have an LED headlight, which was pretty cool. This thing's got some fog lights up here, kind of mounted off the crash bars. Those came in handy when we got into some super dark weather. Nathan is riding the Pursuit, which has the front valences, and it's got lights down low. I think I noticed that he definitely had a little bit better coverage with his lighting than I did, so. That's
something to keep in mind.
I would probably, if I could, opt for a lower light. But otherwise, I think these bikes have been pretty awesome, with trouble-free, 1,500 miles. You managed to strap a duffel bag to the tail. Yeah,
I think all in all, the bikes did exactly what we needed. They handled the road well, and the only thing my bike was missing was a stereo.
We've got a few thousand more to go. We're gonna head west out of here. So, thanks for watching our brief review. Sorry it was sort of brief, but this is, just thoughts on the bikes after a few thousand miles.
Yeah.